I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we are playing Rule the Waves 2 as the USA. We're in war against Germany and it's not going good. We've just last time lost the the North Dakota Delaware class ship to air attack in the North Sea. So that's pretty bad, and that's a trend that we've seen for some time now. So we've lost 2 light cruisers, a couple of destroyers, and this battleship in Northern Europe, and that's simply not acceptable. So we'll need to do some changes, and the first change I think is we will not accept any coastal battles in Northern Europe, specifically because the enemy air attack is just way too good over there. And I do think we actually want to expand our naval base. Okay, we can't. Yeah, but we are developing the base over there in Northern Europe further, but definitely coastal attacks, it's just not... Ooh, that's not good either. Yeah, it's just no good. However, our first true carrier has just finished, so that's nice to see. Conditions seem rather harsh to us. I don't think we want harsh conditions. I think we want to continue to fight. Gradual damage control improvement is also very nice. Sinking a submarine is nice. And here we are in a battleship engagement. A battleship engagement I'm going to accept because I think the Germans are mostly gonna withdraw from that, so that's okay. We're losing some ships, but that's all in all alright. We have a couple of ships under construction. I think I would like to start the construction of the North Carolina, a California class ship. But right now we don't really have the funds. We also need to make sure to move a couple of our ships. Why are you moving so weirdly? Also, you have some damage, as do all of these ships. So these ships will, of course, move from Northern Europe towards the East Coast, so that they don't develop any specific problem. On the other hand, of course, we want to move other ships that maybe are on the East Coast towards Northern Europe, except for ships that have a cramped accommodation, as denoted by that little A over here. So yeah, other than that though, everyone seems to be fine. Let's actually move the Langley, Saratoga class carrier. So this is our first true carrier, and it does carry 82 aircraft. So let's move that towards Europe, because I think that's going to be a very, very welcome addition to our war effort there. Let's also keep in mind our air groups. So what have we got in Stavanger? We've got 40 aircraft, 16 torpedo bombers, 10 fighters, 14 flying boats. I think that's okay. And down on the Saratoga, what we have, or on the Langley actually, because that's the one that we're moving, nevertheless seems to be somewhat similar. We have 50 fighters and 32 torpedo bombers. I think this is a very, very good ship to come towards our aid in Northern Europe. Also on the North American west coast there is a raider, a German raider there, and I think what I would like to do is designate our battle cruiser, which should be on the North American west coast, to be on trade protection. Maybe we're gonna get a cruiser battle there, and that might be alright. The president wants peace. I don't think we want peace, but we will be faced with peace at some point. Ooh, but this is a very, very, very important breakthrough. So dual purpose guns as main armaments are ready for destroyers. This is an extremely important breakthrough, because that will allow us to build destroyers that can actually contribute to AA. We also are getting a lot of things over here, including new medium bombers. That's nice to see. This is our first medium bomber, so let's actually look at what we have. All of them seem to carry the same payload. They do differ substantially in the range. As you can see, that ranges from 190 to 250 over here. Is there any reason why I would not take this? It has slightly slower speed than this one, but I don't think that's of the essence. Has higher toughness. Yeah, no, the Republic Seagull is going to be our ship. Jeremy, yeah, okay, that's not good. Coastal rate. We are going to decline this battle. That will cost us some victory points. On the other hand, we are gaining some victory points due to the blockade, and that should be okay. And we are now having more forces in Northern Europe. So firstly, let's take the forces from the East Coast, including this San Diego class light carrier. Okay, yeah, we can move that. Then we've got this gentleman here on light cruiser. And some of these guys, I would presume. No, not actually these guys, but these guys. Okay, so you can all move to Europe. So of course it's a little bit of a train going back and forth, but yeah, it's simply what you have to do sometimes to keep a war going, especially in far-flung theaters. That being said, these theaters are not actually that far-flung. We do have a base in Norway, and I wouldn't really like to lose that base, which I'm afraid we would once Germany does win this war. Right, that being said, everything here seems to be fine. We could think about the new destroyers, and maybe that's a good idea. So let's open the design for the Hull class destroyer. So that is our current destroyer class. Seems to be a relatively fine ship. Do we have better caliber guns? We do not, but we could. So right now we have 3 turrets. We could use dual purpose guns over here. Fire control is not best available. Ammo is on the low side, so yeah, let's use improved directors over here. Ammo allowance is on the low side. We could change that, I guess. 120. Still consider that to be on the low side. Okay, let's actually delete the forward turret here. Sorry, delete the forward turret and add a forward turret in double turrets. Is that something that we can do? It is. It seems to be totally viable. So let's also think about the same thing for the aft class. Double turret. Yeah, that's fine. Can we do triple turrets? No. No triple turrets. Okay. So yeah, let's simply decrease the gun. By the way, thank you very much for that tip that you can do this. So yeah. With 6 main guns, it would be slightly overpowered. Ooh, but we do have the 3 caliber guns with a range of 9,700. And this has much higher range, and it can penetrate something. So maybe we should take the 4 caliber guns over here. Secondary guns, you do have a couple. We've got the center line swivel mounts, we've got the mine warfare. You could use some K guns. That might not be the worst idea. Flight installations, of course, you've got non mine sweeping gear. Maybe we can drop that. So all in all, this would be a much better ship. We would need to increase the weight somewhat by about 200 tons. Still, I'd be fairly fine with this. Can we do more secondary guns? Slightly overweight, yeah, but I mean these are not dual purpose, so they are much less important. Much less important? Yeah, but they are good quality, so I would really like them. 1,800 then? Yeah, this is a decent ship. 140 guns? Yeah. This would be considered all okay, so we should actually increase this, of course. And that's a lot of weight for the AA directors, and I think the AA directors do not work for the main guns, although I'm not sure about this. Okay, so let's get rid of the anti-submarine warfare capabilities. You know what, let's actually get rid of the mines. You're going to take a mine sweeping gear, you're going to take K guns. And increase storage. And just a couple of AA guns over here. And maybe just 2 directors. Yeah, I think this is okay. Yeah, so that means this is getting a little bit heavy and expensive. But just with the dual purpose guns, I think we'll have a much better fleet destroyer over here. I think 34 speed is still fine. I think we don't need torpedo defenses on our destroyers, so I think this is all fine. We're gonna ask for a new name. The Flosser class, yeah, why not? Let's save that design. It's gonna be developed. It's gonna take a month, and that's gonna be alright. Saragota has finished working up, we should... Ooh, without border changes. Okay, so we are now off to a white piece. But, ha! Look at that! A peace is concluded with our side gaining large territories. Hooray! We are winning! And that's mostly because we have been blockading them for all that time. So, Kaiser quits, anarchy enters, spoils to the victories. That's nice. So they have suffered a revolution, and we are getting some nice areas. Or do we? We do not. Because we can't take any. That's very, very bad. Okay, so here we go. Research breakthrough shipboard aircraft operations, improved landing guidance systems. That's nice. Lower accident chance is very nice indeed. And unfortunately, we've been suffering a very, very, very bad budget cut. So that means we have to save some money. I'm gonna ask for less intelligence spending. We're gonna keep on spending on Japan simply to entice them to war, and I think we want to strive against the war against the British, so that's going to be alright. And then, you know what, I think we can move everyone who's currently in Northern Europe back towards our home base, where you can be repaired and all of that. So let's move all of you back to the East Coast. That should be okay. So let's sort you back by battle or by ship type. And then we have to make some hard decisions, because some of these ships will need to go. And I'm thinking that the New Jersey and Delaware classes are simply not up to the task anymore. So we've lost a Delaware class, and the issue with these ships, I do believe, is they don't have enough torpedo protection. We could rebuild them, we could add a bulge to them, but all in all, I think with the California classes coming up at some point in the near future, with the 8 16-inch guns, these guys will be very much outdated. And that affects all of these ships here. And that's about 2 million in funding that we could save on. I'm also a little bit concerned about the Rochester class over here, because A, the guns really aren't that great, and secondarily, it's a short range setup. So if we rebuild the ship, if we open this design for a rebuild, I don't think the short range is something that we could fix unless we replace the machinery. No, not even then. So you know what, that to me makes these Rochester classes pretty meaningless. So we are actually gonna scrap these. That's gonna be alright. That does give us significantly more money. And that's okay. And we also have these heavy cruisers. And these heavy cruisers, they are nice because they've got 8-inch guns, they have decent armor, but they're not really that speedy. And I think speed is too important to keep these guys around. So we're going to scrap them, also save some money on that front, and that should be fine. Right, so that does leave all of these battleships. Some of them are coming home. So let's actually get them home first. We're going to take one turn over here, and that's alright. Good. And then we can think about what we are going to do with them. I think we're going to put all of these ships here into mothball station. So we're not going to give them up entirely, but we're going to significantly reduce their maintenance so that we get some breathing room with our funds. And I think that's okay. Yeah. And then with all of these light cruisers, the Raleigh classes, they seem pretty outdated at this point. Although I'm not too sure I want to scrap them. I mean, they're still pretty flexible and they can be used in very different circumstances. I'm mostly concerned about the Chicago classes here because they can carry mines, but they have a very limited range. So they're good for home defense, but not really that much more. So we're going to also put you in a mothballed station, and that's alright. And you know what, all of these guys up here, you're going to be in reserve fleet. And that's fine. And now the funds look significantly better. These 4 ships are our colonial ships, basically. You're all on foreign stations, so that's okay. The Cleveland classes, I think these are our most modern designs here. So you've been built in 1927. You've got actually good 6-inch guns. Could we rebuild you to dual purpose guns? We cannot. Your secondary guns are not dual purpose guns. Interesting. A rebuild would cost about $1 million. Dual purpose guns are really, really important, I feel. And you only have quality 0, so could upgrade you to also better guns as well. That's tempting, but I don't think we have the funds to do this right now. Let's actually focus on getting our new, more modern battleships up and running, including our carriers, the Saratoga and Montana. These guys all look pretty good. The San Diego, you only have 24 aircraft. I'm thinking whether these are ships that we want to keep around anymore. Well, maybe specifically the Michigan with its 20 aircraft and speed of only 20. It already looks pretty antiquated, and it's costing us a lot. So let's actually briefly look at the air groups of this guy. So that's what, the Michigan? Yeah, here we go. 12 fighters, your experience is fair only. You know what? We are gonna scrap this ship. Let's put it in a mothballed state. Okay, so now we have funds for about 9 turns or so. That's somewhat okay, I would think. Lots of our ships are in mothballed or reserve station. Except for the carriers. I don't think we want to do that to the carriers. Maybe to the Montana with its 30 aircraft. No. No, I think that's okay. All of these ships are fine ships. Well, except for the Barry class, you're short ranged. So it really doesn't feel like you're doing that much. Okay, let's put you in a mothball, and that's okay. 10 turns, I'm gonna take that. Some problems with the... Ooh, and the Seagull is ready for construction. That's lovely, because I think we are gonna reorganize our air groups here a little bit. Stavanger, for example. I would like to add an air group here. So let's reduce the number of scout planes to 10 basically. Torpedo bombers 16 seems fine to me, but maybe we're gonna be fine with 8 fighters for now. And that does leave us enough space to add an air unit of 6 medium bombers. And that's okay. That's our best base in Europe, so we are certainly gonna want that, I believe. And up over here, we are probably at some point going to end up in war against the British. So we should actually look at our base in Maine. I think that's the one. Maine and or Portland. So Maine, Portland. Do we have any air base over here? Improve naval bases. Build airship base. Expand air base. We have an airbase in Philadelphia. Well, that's way down here on the south. I would like one over here. I would like one in Portland. Yeah, so we're building one over there. That's okay. It's going to take some money. Should be alright. And down here then, in the airbase in... Which airbase have we got down here? So we've got Haiti and we've got Philadelphia, that's alright. We should also have Manila. Yeah, Manila. Okay, so let's... Nope, sorry. Reorganize the airbase at Manila as well. I also want some good things over here. Let's change the number of torpedo bombers to 10 and add 10 medium bombers. I think they'll be a little bit better at the ranges that we do need to fight down there. Next turn. Yep. Okay. Very good. Some air bases being restructured. And research breakthrough. So naval aviation heavier than air, late air launch torpedoes, improve hit chance of air launch torpedoes. That's very nice. We also get bigger air bases. And we've got a new medium bomber as a private venture. Do we want it? So this is slightly more modern, slightly higher speed, significantly worse speed, so range. So no, I don't want that. Why would I? Let's briefly look at our aircrafts. Our fighters seem to be a little bit aged. We could think about getting a new one there. We should also maybe briefly look at research over here. So we are prioritizing shipboard aircraft operations, yes. Later air launch torpedoes, yes, all of that is good. Early AA director, yeah, we have a high priority on AA because we were really being torched last time. Finished construction of airbase in Maine from Philadelphia, no. British fighter, firepower 3, okay, so they are also still going, ooh, and the new British ship Implaceable. Just look at that. 10 16-inch guns, 11-inch belt armor. It's a glass cannon a little bit, but I mean, so are our ships, to be completely honest. Right, okay, so let's set up the air group in Portland. You are going to be, I believe, let's go for 8 flying boats. Let's go for 8 medium bombers. And let's go for 4 fighters. 4 fighters are not going to do much, but at least they can defend the base a little bit. And also on the base overview, I want to increase the base in Stavanger. I want to increase the base in Manila. And I do want to increase it in Philadelphia. Sorry, in Portland. It's going to cost some funds, but it's okay. We've got 4 turns of funding left. Improved model of the fighter, that's okay, that's nice to see actually. Higher max speed, good. Toughness, firepower, all of that is unchanged. Range is somewhat higher, so that's nice. Really not that big a deal. Yeah, but we're losing more money here. In 4 turns, the California is going to be finished. So let's take the next turn to see what's going to happen. Do we want to sell stuff to the Germans? Yeah, you know what? I think that's okay. Go to landing craft. Yeah, we do have enough money to, I think, see this construction through. Could be completed with our best fire control. Oh, we got an upgrade. Yeah, I think we do need that. With the price doing headlines from the threat of Japan as increased naval funding, that's very nice to see. Japan is very high here. And we are seeing improved invasion capabilities and improved 14-inch guns. Now, 14-inch guns are carried by our older battleships. So if we were to look at the Delaware, we could upgrade the guns. It wouldn't actually cost that much. Could also fit it within a... Wait a minute. What's the build cost over here? So, build cost is 2 million right now. Gun data is deck armor of, well, it has a range of 25,000. And if we get to the improved version, yeah, just look at that range extension. It had 25,000 before, now it has like 10% more. Which is extremely great. The rebuild cost would only be 2.7 million. However, with an advanced fire director, it would just jump up dramatically. I think there's a little bug in how it recalculates things. Specifically, I mean, replacing the guns normally is more expensive than this. Caliber 5. Can't do dual purpose down here. I could get you bulged. This -2 knots. So it would go down to 19. I just don't think this has any future. No, it's fine. Do have 15 guns over here in the Arizona class, and the Arizona class is something that we are more likely to use in the future. Okay, next turn. New Japanese battleship. So also 10 16-inch guns. A significant number of 6-inch guns. Also 11.5 belt armor. Interesting to see them converging so much. 5-inch guns of better quality. Are 5-inch guns something that we do use on any ship? don't see any 5-inch guns being used. So yeah, no, that might actually be okay. We are spending some money. I don't think I can resume this yet, but maybe next turn. We are going to make that person a national hero because I want to actually increase the tensions over here. And we should also increase tensions here. And another improved version of the torpedo bomber. That should be nice. Cruise speed is the same. Range goes up actually quite significantly. Nothing else does though, so it's a good change. Okay, and let's actually resume the construction of the North Carolina. That's going to cost us quite a bit of money, but the California is now being commissioned, so that's nice to see. Ooh, and this is a new class. This is an entirely new class. It's not actually too dissimilar to our ships, except it has 9 16-inch guns where we only carry 8. But I very much doubt that these guys are all super firing. So whereas we have 2 turrets that are super firing each other, these guys have 3 turrets, but they are all somewhat interlinked with each other. They've only got an improved director, but they have 13-inch belt armor. So if we do look at our design, yeah, you can see our design carries less guns, but they are more concentrated. We have much more armor, but I think it's only on a narrow lane, so that's okay. Yeah, and here we go. This is the California. Do we actually need to redesign it? I don't think so. We've got the rounds per gun. There's not really much that we can do over here, so yeah, no, that's all right. Next turn. 10-inch guns. Nope, I don't want to do this. Stavanger, all of these things are getting their thing done, and that's okay. Let's have a look at the air groups, specifically Manila. And I think what we want to do is change the number of medium bombers to 20. And we've got 10 capability more. Let's actually change the number of fighters to 16, and that does leave us with enough room for 2 more aircraft. And you know what, let's actually dial up on the torpedo bombers just a little bit. That's okay, I think. And also in Stavanger we are going to increase that just across the board. I think medium bombers are the most important aspect. You know what, let's actually invest in a lot of those. It's going to be costly, but I think it's well worthwhile to do so. So Germans can suddenly do some shipbuilding. What? What? The British are building an old class now. We're just getting it's not being rebuilt, is it? That would be too funny. This is an extremely old and outdated ship. It has only 12-inch guns, only 4 of them, a couple of 6-inch guns. But in turrets nonetheless, so they must have refitted it. Interesting. Very peculiar finding. Well, we do have our ships under construction, that's nice. So the Connecticut is commissioned and California has finished her working up. Aviation pundits are ecstatic about the new aircraft type medium bomber. We actually do have a medium bomber. Ooh, okay, so it has good reliability. That's nice to see. So that's actually very good. So our reliability of both the floatplane Scout and the medium bomber is now at good. Fantastic. That's a very good result. I'm happy with this. And it actually carries a decent bomb load as well, at least for the time period. Right. California, Connecticut, you are there, you are working up. That's good. We are having some money left in the bank, but I think I want to take a couple of turns here. Increased loading, that's nice to see. Naval aviation lighter than air. Okay, we shouldn't really do this. Strongest popular Soviet Union. Yeah. Lodestar, that's okay. Let's actually dial up on the research a little, because we do have the funds ready for that. And I think we can actually build a couple of ships, and that will be the Flosser class destroyer. It's gonna have a monthly build cost of about 400, so we can buy comfortably 9 and uncomfortably 10. So we're gonna go with 10. It's gonna take about a year. That should be okay. There we go. All of them are being built. Lovely and nice, and that should give us a much better force on our destroyer front. Probably gonna allow us to dismantle a couple of these older ships, and that's gonna be alright. Anyone else being obsolete over here? No. So no one really does require a refit. Dual purpose guns? No, no, no. That is a valuable technology, and I'm not gonna give that at all. There, within characteristics of comprehending deck park. Okay. Improved version of the Seagull already. So just after a year, you have an increased range, an increased toughness, an increased firepower, and a higher speed. I'm impressed. I just hope it's still going to be very reliable. Good. Oh yeah, now these guys here are starting to be outdated. So that's the Raleigh class. It has been redesigned in 1926. Same here with these Terry classes. I mean, they still might be okay. They are not impressive ships at all. Can we open them for rebuild? Could add dual purpose guns here. It's only 2 of them. I think they are probably outdated. They're proper outdated. Even dual purpose. Wait, what? So the Terry class, if we open that for rebuild. No, okay. Did I click on the wrong thing? I might have. It does happen. Okay, but these guys are already overweight. So you know what? We are gonna scrap them. Terry class, they have been rebuilt, but they are too small by now. Our latest ships are much larger than this. They're not up to the task anymore. We are going to scrap. There we go. And up here, the Raleigh class. I do like the Raleigh classes. Just, I like Raleigh. I like the name and all of that. But really, truly, they too, to me, are not up to the task anymore. So let's actually scrap these guys as well. Yeah, there we go. Still running a deficit, but not much, so that's okay. Yeah, let's just generally go for any increase in tensions that we can. And here we go. 12-inch guns, quality 1. That's nice to see. Stavanger has less aircrafts than it has capabilities. That's okay. Let's actually increase the air group then. Stavanger, you have 6 left. Flying boats, maybe? Yeah. I think it would be nice to get more intel here, so that should be okay. And Portland, we are going to keep it where it is for now. But yeah, that's going to be alright. We do have some money left in the bank. We are at the cusp of a war with potentially Japan and maybe France. France, I think the Caribbean would be our main target. Maybe Southeast Asia. Don't think France over here is much of a target. But yeah, that could certainly be done. Japan is going to be a little bit more difficult, but we might get a very interesting carrier battle in the Atlantic. So that would certainly be very interesting to see, don't you think? So for now, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Oh, and do leave a like and all of that if you want. Bye bye.